Hey there folks, my name is Peter, and on today's video we're talking sling bags. So on a recent video I introduced you all to my man purse or sling bag. I went over everything that I keep in here. If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to want to watch it before consuming this video. Because today we're actually switching from this TomToc sling bag to this Alpaka sling bag. Now why am I making such a change? Well, this was the first sling bag that I ever owned. I really didn't know exactly what I was looking for. I just knew that I didn't want to have to carry everything that is in here in my pockets. While this is a very good bag, there's three things that I do not like about it. Now, all of these three things are personal preference, and it isn't to say that this is a bad bag by any means. Put it on, you can see it really wants to shift this way. So much so that I end up having to pull it back to sit in the front constantly, and regardless, it always wants to go back here. So that's one. Two, the strap itself is just not long enough. Now, of course, I'm a bigger guy. You might not have the same problem. I'm sure I could have gotten a different buckle, made this a little bit longer, maybe it's a little bit better, but I didn't want to. Because three is that this is a horizontal sling bag. And for some of what I want to put in here, although it does fit, it is so bulky that it's really not that comfortable. Because I'm actually going to add something to my daily carry that I didn't have in this pack, but will be in the new one. Stay tuned to the end if you want to see what that is. So before we start to transfer everything into this bag, let's just talk a little bit about why I like it. One, as you'll see right away, the strap is much longer. So with this bag, I think it'll sit a little bit more comfortably in the front without wanting to go to the side. Two, it's a vertical sling. Now again, had I known that I wanted a vertical sling when I was first in the market for a sling bag, I probably would have gone with something like this, but I didn't, and this is how we learn. So without any further ado, I'm going to transfer the tools and other carry items from this bag into this bag, and then at the very end we'll add that extra item that I think is really going to push this EDC over the top. Okay, so I have everything in here that was in the old bag as far as tools are concerned. It's a little bit tight, I'm not going to lie, but I have two upgrades that we're gonna make. One, I'm gonna get rid of this Anker battery pack. While this is a 10,000 milliamp hour, it only has a USB-A out, and I really want a USB-C out so that I can carry fewer cables. The one that I bought to replace this is only a 5,000 milliamp hour, so I'm going to get a little bit less charging capabilities, but it's much smaller and it allows me to carry fewer cords. So I literally just bought this. We're going to open it up. Obviously I'll have to charge it a little bit later, but I think that this is a better solution to our charging woes, if for no other reason than it takes up a lot less space. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Okay, now in terms of cables, it was recommended on my last video that I get sort of an all-in-one cord. Now, I already had one, but I typically keep this in my travel EDC. But I'm thinking that it makes a lot of sense just to carry it here, although I am still gonna carry full-length USB-C cables for when I want to plug into the wall. Now this little number is super cool. I forget who makes it, but I'll be sure to link all this stuff in the description below. When you first open it, USB-A to Lightning, but then you can pull this off. Now you have USB-C to Lightning. If you pull this one off, you have USB-C to USB-C, and of course you can connect any combination therein. This is most likely what I'll use when I'm using that Anker battery pack, but for going into the wall, I still want full-length cables. And now for the final item, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know if it's gonna fit, but we're gonna try it. When I first started carrying a sling bag, I wanted to also be able to carry my iPad mini. Now this did fit in the TomToc, right? You had to lay it horizontally, of course, but it added a lot of bulk, and certainly I don't think the TomToc was really made for carrying that. Whereas the Alpaka has this back sleeve here. And this back sleeve fits this iPad, at least when nothing else was in here, pretty nicely. Well, let's see if it'll fit now that we have everything else in here. Pretty tight. Okay. Oof. Oof. So it does fit. But boy, is that packed in there tightly. Now, I also wanted to add one more thing, which is this foldable USB keyboard, so that I basically have a full computer with me at all times. Now, I think what I'm going to try and do is rejigger some of what I just put in here, mainly those cords, and see if I can get this to fit. But if I can't, I'll either need to buy a new sling bag, and you all will have to recommend to me what I should buy, or I'll have to take some stuff out. Let's start by taking out the pry bar tool. I don't really use this. I don't think I'm going to miss it. And let's also take these cables and see if they won't fit in the front where the keys are. Because I don't use these cables all that often, right? And I never take the keys out of this. So that should gain us a little bit of room. Let's fold this back up. Now, it came with this case. There's no way it's going to fit with the case, but let's try it without the case first. And I think part of this may be putting this stuff in at the end and trying it that way. Okay, so that fits. Let's come in here. See, this thing is pretty chunky, and I think this is really what's holding us back. Because even once you get it in there, you're not going to be able to close it. So let's take out our wallet. I think that will work. There we go. Okay, so now we have a very, very full sling bag. Let's try to put it on here. Now, this is heavy, and I realize that you can't see it down here, but I don't think that this is going to move. Now, is this going to be uber functional when I need to go in here to grab stuff? I think really only time will tell. I can get to my wallet pretty easily. This is what I'm grabbing for most often. The flashlight and stuff like that is super easily accessible, which I really like, because now we're actually able to make use of the clips on our pen, flashlight, and multi-tool, because they're all sitting vertically. Whereas before, you couldn't really make use of the clips because if you wanted these to sit vertically, the bag just wasn't tall enough. So in general, I'm happy with this. And of course now, I was able to get a full computing solution stored in this bag at all times. So should I choose, I can unfold my iPad. We'll set this up, break out my keyboard, and it should just be connected. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be honest, typing on this, a little bit difficult because of how small it is, but it does have a mouse built in, it's got the keyboard, and I think this is going to be a really interesting solution for me. Obviously, I'll try it out for a number of weeks and see how it works, but so far, I'm happy with the decision that I made to switch from the TomToc to the Alpaka. Again, I'll have links to everything I talked about today in the description box below. Let me know what you think. Is this the right solution? Should I go even bigger? Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.